Hello YouTube, this is Hyboman here, back with another Transformers review. This time I'm going to be starting the first of my Botcon haul reviews to show you guys everything I picked up in the dealer room, and episode 3 of Primetime Reviews will be coming shortly. So we'll start things off with the first toy I picked up in the dealer room at the first booth I went to. This is G2 Laser Rod Jolt. I picked him up because, as you can see, this car mode is just fantastic. It's an open top roadster. You can see the seats in there, and there's a little steering wheel sort of molded in there. Clear windshield, dark blue and white flame deco on top of this wonderful purple with a few blue accents back here. Overall, I have to say, it's just the shape of this thing is really doing it for me. I mean, if you look at it, it's almost an oval, and it's so unique. Something I think that a lot of people, or at least myself, find boring about car formers is that eventually you're just going to sort of run out of styles. You end up things with like Revenge of the Fallen Jolt and things like that, which are just so boring to look at. And then, you try to make them into a robot that looks cool, and you have to incorporate the boring car, and it just ends up being something boring and forgettable. Well, this guy goes for a really interesting, really cool, and beautiful car mode, and as a result, he's a really interesting and cool figure. Now, he's a laser rod, which means he comes with a light-up feature. You can see here there's a button to push to do that. Unfortunately, when I got him, the batteries were dead, and I do not have the right kind to go in him. I will do sort of a follow-up video to show that off once I actually get the batteries. But you see, you just push the button, and there is an LED attached to this wire here. It would light up red. That plugs in to the bottom of his car mode. This then would light pipe up into the hood, and also into his clear pipes to glow red. You can see down here he has his clear sword stored, which sort of forms a back bumper and an exhaust port of sorts. You can also see there are more exhaust pipes down here. The last thing I want to sort of show off in the vehicle mode, besides yes, it can roll on these really nice silver wheels, is just how clean it is. I mean, you look in here, you can see the seats and the interior. You can see some panel lines, and you can obviously see the screws and everything to hold the battery and everything in. But if you look over here, yes, crotch and a bit of legs. But other than that, there's just nothing showing from the robot mode. So the fact they could do something this unusual for a car and still get it to be a very, very disguised Transformer is a really cool thing. So, to begin transforming him, take off the sword like I did already. Fold out both legs, like such. Come around here, and pull out the arms from underneath, and take the front half, fold it down, fold his arms down into place, and take the exhaust pipes and flip them onto the sides of his arms. Last thing, just take the seats now, slide them up, and you can see his head pops up from in there. So here we have Jolt in his robot mode, and you can see he's a little bit top heavy, but he will stand up. You can give him his sword, put it in his hand, and this guy just looks so cool. You can see all the paint basically from the vehicle mode has translated onto the front of his robot mode. And he still has that very unique look. He has the hood of the car on his chest like a lot of Transformers do, but you can see even if it sticks out that far, the fact that it folds down so flat helps him to not look as bulky. It's not sticking, straight out, it's flat down against his body, so he doesn't have the same problem that like a Jazz type hood chest would have. The next thing here I'll show off is his posability. You can see he has clear light piping in his eyes. His head will swivel. His shoulders go up and down a little bit on this transformation hinge, provided they, fit down into the groove. They rotate here. Inwards and outward shoulder joint here. Bicep swivel and elbows, which is a really good amount of joints for him waving his sword around, which is very cool. You come down here and you have, if you can see it in the back here, there's an elastic band that holds the waist piece on. meaning that he has a very, very posable, natural-looking waist. Although this, with his top heaviness, means he can tend to slump a little bit, which makes him hard to pose, but, you know, what are you going to do? It's a neat little effect. I am a little bit worried that's going to break, but I'm not going to be, you know, stretching him or anything like that, so it shouldn't be something too big to worry about. Hips are on sort of a ball joint. You can see it's a metal rod in there holding everything together, so forward, backward, out to the side. No swivel, and he does have knees. His feet are very hollow, but there's enough stuff going back that you saw before. He is a little bit top heavy, but provided you fiddle him around a little bit, he will stand up. The only other thing to show off here would be the action feature if I had the right batteries for it. You saw before that this LED is on a wire, so you can pull the whole thing out of his chest, fold it back down, and then stick it in the bottom of his hand here. It's a little bit of a rickety setup, but you do this, push the button, and you've got a red light up sword, which is awesome. And that's the laser in the laser rods. Okay, so that about does it for him. Something else I'm going to do to tack onto these videos is show off the exclusive figures I got at Botcon. Now, I'm one of those collectors who, when I get exclusive toys, I don't really open them or fiddle around with them that much. The point, for me at least, of having exclusives is to have them in your collection and have them retain their value. So, something like a Botcon box set is cool and neat because you have it, you know, in the box in pristine condition. And, you know, if some point comes along in the future that you need to sell off parts of your collection, hey, there's a nice buffer zone of things that you kept safe for such an emergency. But I do have everything still in their packs to show off. So, this is the first guy I picked up at the dealer room, so I think it makes sense to show off the first exclusive to get my hands on. This is Machine Wars Starscream, the giveaway figure. The free figure for attending. You can see he is a black and silver repaint of Hunt for the Decepticons Pterodide. You can see here the spear is now in green to represent the Predator missiles that were attached to the Predators. The original Machine War Starscream was a repaint of a Predator jet whose name I do not remember. And you can see over here, here is his bio card with really awesome artwork. His name, he is the Decepticon Pursuit and Capture Officer right here. And here is his tech spec box as well as his bio, which unfortunately I'm not quite focused enough to be able to read it through the camera. Sorry about that. So, this is Botcon review number 1. I will be going through all of the figures I picked up in the dealer room as well as the exclusive guys to just show them off a little bit. I will be back very soon with those as well as with Primetime Reviews episode 3. So this is Heibelman with G2 Laser Rod Jolt and somewhat Machine Wars exclusive attendance-free figure Botcon 2013 Starscream. And I am signing off for now. See you in the next video.